What's up, guys? Nuance Bro checking in, and today I thought we would talk about something a little more on the funny side, on the lighter side. You know, politics can get a little too pessimistic sometimes. It can get you down and sad and think a lot of things are going wrong in the world. But I found this story funny, so I thought we could just have a little funny story today. And it has to do with Joe Biden. Now, Joe Biden's been on the campaign trail for a while now, and a few days ago, he made these comments about North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
Ladies and gentlemen, he embraces Kim Jong-un in North Korea. This is a guy with his uncle's brains blown out, sitting across the table. This is the guy who's a thug, and he's writing love letters to him.
Now, these comments aren't strange to anyone. You've heard politicians say such remarks before. This isn't really uncommon. But the North Koreans decided to respond in an article about Joe Biden. And this is what they said. According to the Washington Post, North Korea calls Joe Biden an imbecile and fool of low IQ. Now, obviously, in the Washington Post, they're just quoting the article, but let's actually go to the article that the Koreans wrote, and we can see this is KCNA Watch, and KCNA is the North Korean media, but this is, I guess, a website that as you can see on the top, it says a user-friendly interface for viewing North Korean media. So they take the articles and they, publish them in English and things like that, make it easy to find. And we can see here, they say, what he uttered is just sophism of an imbecile bereft of elementary quality as a human being, let alone a politician. He has been accused even within the Democratic Party, to say nothing of the American society, for his vulgar acts and words about women and his thoughtless remarks. It is well known to the world that he received a grade of F during university days for plagiarizing others' article in his paper and could not but give up running for presidency in 1988 for plagiarizing a speech of a British politician that led to a public furor. I gotta say, I'm loving the vocabulary they're using here, but let's continue. It is by no means accidental that there is nonstop comment over his bid for candidacy that he is not worth pinning hope on, backed by the jeer that he is a fool of low IQ. Even the American media derided him as a man with manic obsessive running of the mouth, saying that he likes giving a speech, but he is not serious in his words. Yet he is self-praising himself, kind of redundant, as being the most popular presidential candidate. This is enough to make a cat laugh. I'm guessing that's obviously an expression in Korean that doesn't translate that well into English. But yeah, I'm sure it makes more sense in their language. Explicitly speaking, we will never pardon anyone who dare provoke the supreme leadership of the DPRK, but will certainly make them pay for it. Biden had better think back the reason for his past two failures in presidential elections and remember that prudence commensurate with the object is integral to a presidential candidate. Now, if you haven't seen news reports from the DPRK before, it's quite hilarious. And as you can see, I mean, that article made me chuckle quite a bit. And I've seen some reports from them in the past where they've actually done like video documentaries, how they talk about America and how homeless people are eating pigeons and stuff like that. I mean, it's pretty funny, interesting stuff. But I just thought it was funny. I mean, if you guys noticed, they used the insult of low IQ towards Joe Biden. Now, if that sounds familiar, well, that's probably not by coincidence. Now, if you remember just a few months ago, President Trump used the same exact insult towards Joe Biden, writing in March 18th of this year, Joe Biden got tongue-tied over the weekend when he was unable to properly deliver a very simple line about his decision to run for president. Get used to it. Another low IQ individual. So I don't think it's any coincidence that the North Koreans use the same exact type of language as Donald Trump when insulting Joe Biden. Now, this isn't unusual for North Korea when they're attacked by a prominent politician, whether it's Joe Biden or even Donald Trump. If you remember a while back when Donald Trump was going at it with Kim Jong-un, they actually called him a dotard or a dudard, or I'm not even really sure how it's pronounced. You can see here in an article from the New York Times, Kim Jong-un called Trump a dotard, I guess. What does that even mean? I mean, they're even asking the same question. What does it mean? And this was September 22nd, 2017. But I have to say, in this instance, it does seem kind of funny that they're using Trump's language against Biden. And I don't think that's by coincidence. I think that's purposeful. I think they're doing that on purpose because I think they're not really mad about anything Joe Biden necessarily said. I mean, the type of media that comes into North Korea is controlled by the North Korean government. So it's not necessarily something they're putting out to control the narrative with respect to their people. I think they're doing this more as a way to maybe gain favor with the Trump administration and maybe use that as being like, look, we bashed Biden like you bashed Biden, and maybe appealing to Trump's ego so that he might give them a more favorable deal with respect to, American and North Korean relations. So that's possible. I don't know. That's just a guess of mine. They seem pretty desperate, but anyways, guys, I just thought this was a funny story that I felt like bringing up and letting you guys know about. Gave me a chuckle. Did it make you guys laugh? Leave comments down below. Gonna have some good videos coming out soon, so stay tuned for that. But as always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Social media links are in the description box below, as well as merch. And I'll see you next time, bro.